Hi, welcome back to this Citigen tutorial. In this tutorial, let's try to add a custom building into our Citigen project. Let's prepare a Citigen city. You can use a project that you have already made, and make sure that you save the file. I'll be naming this Citizen Custom _01. And go to your Blender Market download folder. Make sure to download this file, buildings to import prep. Once the download is complete, open up the file. If you open up the file, you will see these collections, and they represent the types of assets that you can add or replace in the Citigen project. In this case, as you will see in each folder we'll have replace and add collection. Since we are trying to add a big building, let's remove these irrelevant folders, collections, and make sure let's try to add a new one, add a building, not replacing it. So, and make sure to put your new building into a collection. So I've added a collection. For this tutorial, I'll be using a model from KitBash, but you can use any of your model. But please make sure that they are mesh objects, not geometry node objects. Once the import is completed, the first thing to make sure is the proportion of your custom buildings, custom matches with the reference SS present in this file. Well, they look okay to me. And let's remove the reference SS since we have made sure of the proportion. But I didn't remove the street yet because I need to add this collision boundaries for our custom buildings. Add a mesh that encompasses your custom buildings roughly. Try to make it as simple as possible. Don't make a hole in it, or don't make concave parts, because Unreal Engine 5 will recognize this as a rounded mesh anyway later. And once this collision mesh is completed, let's put this in the same collection. And here's a trick. Choose an object from your custom asset and copy its name, and using the name, add the name of the collision object UCX underscore plus that name. And being in the same collection, after export, Unreal Engine 5 will recognize this as the collision boundary for this object. And another thing that's important, make sure to select all these new files, new assets, and apply its scale, rotation, and location. And another thing, make sure that you remove the orphan data. I just removed the street as well. Make sure to remove the SS, because unless you do, it will still be there, and later they get imported into Citigen projects. Once it's complete, let's save this file. Let's go back to our project file. And since we're trying to convert this into Unreal Engine project, let's turn the default access into game-friendly versions. Click Load Game-Friendly Default Buildings. And let's switch to proxy view to speed up the viewport. And let's click select and import custom buildings and find the file we just saved. And at first you might not be able to see the imported buildings, but if you click building variations, you will start to notice that they are there. And click building variations until you find the locations that you like. There we go. It looks okay to me. It's in the corner, so it's quite visible. But before we export this into Unreal Engine 5, there's another trick that we can use to speed up the game engine later. You can reduce the number the stories of these buildings by clicking building level count controls. If it's under 0, the stories will be reduced. And if it's above 0, it will add the stories. Now these look fine to me. I guess it's time to export this. Let's go down to and click prepare for mesh export. That's it. So here we go. The rest of the process, rest of the workflow is the same as shown in the previous tutorial. And the result I got was this one. I ran into a problem that you might run into. I clicked the play button and noticed that I ended up underwater. What happened? It's because, don't panic, it's because the player start location had a problem. You see, if you click player start, you will notice that it's within a building, is in a collision box of the building. So let's move. So after moving the gizmo outside of that collision boundaries, voila, there you go. So we have the car setting properly on a plane. Let's drive on and let's check the new custom buildings that we just added. And on the way, let's check if the collisions are working correctly. Yes, it's working correctly. And let's try to run through the building. Will it? Does the collision work? Yes, it's working. So you can, using this same procedure, you can add middle-sized building and smallest buildings by following the collection name. In the next tutorial, I think I probably try to show you how to add custom assets on the streets. If you like this tutorial, please click like and subscribe button. And we'll see you next time.